See some people already here. Ooh, I think my camera is a bit dirty. See if I can find something less dirty to wipe it with. Nope, that's much more dirty. We'll see if this helps. That was reasonably less dirty. No, still looks pretty dirty. Okay, well, forget that. Anyway, who's there? Can you hear me? Is anybody listening? Oh, there's everybody. All right. Ralph says hello. Chirpy says hello. Hello. How's everyone doing? Yes, you can hear me. Good. Like dirty stream. They're all dirty, I think. Literally, not metaphorically, but literally, yes. Even dirtier is the rest of my garage. So today, I was thinking what I could do is try to ask the audience any tips you have for packing up a garage full of garbage and transporting it to the new place. Does anyone have a process? Does anyone have tips? Should I just throw everything in the garbage and start over? What's a good idea? Someone said something about a 351. The 351 will be helping me move. That's for sure. That's definitely coming to the new place, as is this rotten old van. Put like things in the same box. All right, that's how I've been packing up inside the house. Right behind the camera, I actually have 10 boxes of only books, and I need like 20 more boxes of books, just for books. I may have too many books. I didn't get rid of any of them after school. It's crazy. I've stopped packing books though. I've started packing other junk inside the house. So if I avoid making boxes too heavy. Okay, so that's a good tip. What I've been doing with the heavy stuff in the house is putting them in very small boxes. So even if they're stuffed full, they're not too heavy. Although I noticed the Home Depot, the small box, not the extra small, but the small boxes. So I might be able to show you. The extra small boxes don't have handles. The heavy duty small boxes have handles. So that's been helpful. Yeah, see the stacks go all the way. They actually go back to the garage door. That's why there's no car in here right now. Which made it a little bit tricky to, I changed the oil in my wife's car today, and the car is out there, and the jack was all the way back there, and the whole garage is full of garbage. So that was fun. You don't want a 4-foot box crammed full of books. Heavy duty boxes are nice for garage stuff. That's good. That's good, because I got, whoops. That's a stack of unused, unfolded heavy duty boxes. I have the small heavy duty boxes. Hang on, I'm reattaching my tape. I'm using some duct tape to hold my phone holder together, although I believe it appears that may be it for the phone holder. Plastic totes are good too for later storage. Okay, that's a good idea. It's a storage unit for boxes. I have a storage unit. I should have mentioned that. I have there's a family storage unit that I'm using some of. My section of it is 10 by 50, so it's pretty big. Let's see, is that tape gonna hold? I think the tape's gonna hold. I hope everyone enjoys the nausea I'm giving them right now. Hello, John McCann. You can get those phone holders with the cheap selfie stick holders. Yes. I know you said that's where you got these ones. 17-gallon ones with yellow lids from Home Depot. I think I have some of those. I don't have the 17-gallon ones. I have some really, really big ones with the yellow lids. Come on, tape. Well, that's going to hold until it doesn't. It's going to fall off. I have some really big, they're like big bins that I have. I have a lot of those stuff with a lot of things already at the storage unit. 17 or 27 or yeah. I mean, they're different sizes. Are you talking like the black ones? The black, I don't have any here. The black ones with the yellow lids, the opaque ones. I had a bunch of those. Those are really nice. I had a whole bunch of those actually full of stuff I took off the van. Like I have all of the entertainment system off the van in one of those boxes, and it's like a 4-inch CRT television that's like that deep, and a VCR and all those weird 80s looking lights and furniture dollies. I don't have a furniture dolly, but I can borrow a couple. We have these appliance dollies that's like it looks like a normal dolly, but it's aluminum and it's got a strap, and it actually has a couple things designed like strips on it, and it's designed not to scratch new appliances, which is really nice. And it's got a couple other things that help you move it up and downstairs. Plywood box are nice to move the metal. That might be nice. Yeah, I actually, most of my metal, half of it's still in scrap form, and the other half's not very big, so I could probably shove that in a box. I've kept all my woodworking tool boxes, so I could put them back in the original boxes, which might be handy for moving them. I don't know why I kept all of those. Trippy said something. Put 2 pieces of black construction paper on each side of the center of the camera lens. You can call it a YouTube short. There you go. I'll just do like the strips to cover everything up. You know, I got some notification the other day that says you have until the 25th to claim a free boosted short. Like, what? You're gonna show it to more people? Like, I haven't made a single one of them yet. Not moving, massive cleanup and remodeling, getting rid of all that old obsolete electronics, being scrapped, taken in for cash. Do you get a lot of cash for that? Question from Martin. What is your favorite piece of pottery that you have made? That I've made? I don't know. I'm usually very self-critical. There's a bunch of it in there right now that's cooling, that's cracked. It's currently at 770 degrees though, so I can't pop it open and see if there's anything new in there. If I had to pick anything, it would probably be one of the most recent things, something I made with local clay and a glaze I made out of other local clay. I like that very much. I mean, it's probably not the best looking stuff, but I like that it's all local materials. This stuff over here is all failures. I haven't seen you on the forum in ages. The shirt, I'm wearing this shirt because I was changing the oil today in my wife's car, and black doesn't show up when it gets covered in oil. I didn't get it covered in oil. I actually have the forum is my homepage on my phone, so every time I open the internet, it opens up the forum. So I'm scanning through the forum a lot, but I haven't posted anything in a long time. That is very true. I usually just scan the hotlink thread mostly. 2-man arm straps are actually helpful for larger furniture. Okay, so that's a good point. So every time I've moved, I've had like family help me, but my parents are in their 70s. And my brother's really busy. I might be able to get him to help because I actually live in the same county as him now. But, you know, and last time I moved, my wife was pregnant. This time my wife is pregnant. So I can't have her help move furniture and stuff. And I'm all out of beer. When I moved in, my fridge here was just full of beer. Like, I don't drink beer. So I used it to bribe people that I knew to help me move stuff. So I might have to find a new way to bribe people to help me move, especially the couch. I have a really heavy, nice couch, but it's in the basement. And that sucked getting it down there, and gravity was helping. So now it's going to be a little more of a challenge to get it out. Maybe I'll have to... I know a couple people. I'll bribe them with something to help. Maybe pizza. And one guy, I've had co-drive... he co-drove my RX-8 for a few autocrosses, so he owes me. We're actually moving now. Not now, but soon. Quote soon. Hello. A realtor talked to me. I talked to a realtor, and they said, yeah, Chirpy would be a help. He's a big, strong guy. The realtor said a lot of people are not accepting offers that are contingent on sale of your house. So a lot of people, they sell their house, close on it, and then put in offers and buy a house. And sometimes you can close on your house and then like rent from the person you sold it from or sold it to, while you find a new house. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna move all our junk out, stage it real nice, sell it, close on it, then make offers on new places. I also haven't found a place that's like perfect yet to make an offer, so we're not in a rush. Pizza and wings. Yep, I'll probably do that. Made enough on Just Steel and insulated wires to get a PS5. Really? Nice. I do have a bunch of circuit boards. I still have a whole bunch of motors over there that I haven't broke down. I think I'm just going to scrap those. I don't want to take them with and then do it. Moving into a storage facility? Yes. My parents rent two 20 by 50s, and I'm going to use half of a 20 by 50. I I don't have a ton of it full. I have maybe 10% of it full of books or full of boxes, and I have a car in there. I'm probably going to put another car in there during the move. It's large enough I can fit 3 cars in it. Hopefully a place with a 4-car garage. Ain't that the truth? This is a 2-car. It's not a very big 2-car, but it's not a tiny 2-car. And I would like to have a 3-car. Or a few of the places I found, they have 2 cars that are bigger, so they're like 2 with extra, and a detached garage of like 2 or more. Like that would be perfect. But that's kind of like, it's difficult to find because I can find the same size house as I got with a 3-car, which, I mean, we need a bigger house. The house part has to be bigger. Or I can find a 3-car or larger with a gigantic mansion house. Like we don't need a mansion house, and I can't like afford $1 million house. So it's just trying to find like that happy middle ground. And I found a couple where the house is perfect, but the garage isn't any bigger than this. And that's not real cool. But I mean, I would live with it if I had to, because you know we'll end up needing another bedroom anyway. Depends where you live. At least before we moved to New York, had to pay to have old electronics taken care of. Oh, interesting. We just give them to a guy and he takes everything. Stick the extra kid in the garage. There you go. Stick the extra kid in the garage. Just make it an extra. Have them pay rent, or at least they have to clean up in here. That would be terrible for them. That's not fair. Hello, Robert. Welcome. We got 20 people watching. I'm just been talking so far. Can't do that. Need the garage. That's right. I'll have to teach the oldest one how to weld, and then she can do some projects. I mean, she's 7. That's old enough to weld, right? The youngest one just turned 5, so he'll be useful in a little while out here. Although he's very good at building things in the house. He just tends to destroy things a lot. A lot. Hello, Alpha Wolf. I thought I saw you come in. 1 square foot of rust fixing on the van per month. Yes. And we can keep that deal up for the next, I don't know, 10 years, probably, until it's all fixed. I mean, most of the rust is hidden, though, which is handy. You gonna melt metal again anytime soon? I'm not sure if I'll be melting before I move, and I'm not sure when I'll be moving. You didn't hear me? Oh, no problem. I'm not sure when I'll be moving. Not sure if I'll get a chance to before I move. Although I still have all the furnaces in here and all the propanes in here. I haven't packed any of that away yet. I probably won't until it's time to move. So I'll be keeping it, and it's not like I'm not able to like just whip it up and set it up in like 15 minutes. Moving in the snow doesn't sound fun. No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound fun. Although last year we really didn't have any snow until like February, March, before we got a decent amount of snow. And I wouldn't really mind moving in the snow too much. What I would really hate to do is move if it's like 95 degrees out. That would be even worse. I still also, under that bucket is sitting on the box of Petribon, of clean Petribon, non-burned Petribon is in that under that bin. So I do have everything for metal casting. I've just been a bit busy. Moving at any time of the year sucks. That is so true. I've pretty much only moved during summers, and it's never fun. At least this time when I'll be moving, I'm not going to be like 50 pounds fatter. I'm 50 pounds less fat this time, and I'm stronger this time, so it won't be quite so bad moving in the heat if I have to. But like we're figuring, well, the kids due in March, late March, and I mean, we'll need an next room eventually, but like you don't have a kid and immediately just shove them in a room. You know, they usually sleep in your room for a while. We still have the bassinet, I think, in the bedroom. So there is that. Kiln's at 740, still too cold. This is actually risky, popping the thing open. I have all the holes plugged and have the thing popped open. Does Petribon die over time if unused? I don't think it does. It's always very sticky every time I grab it. It's not like green sand. It doesn't dry out. You might have to like, you know, mash it all up. Like if I had a muller, you can rejuvenate things pretty quick, but I don't have a muller. Never did build one of those. Although I was thinking, I wonder if a pottery pug mill would work as a muller because they kind of do same things, but like sticky sand versus clay are very different, and I wouldn't want to get a pug mill and then wreck it with sand. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Don't have a muller yet. That's right. I mean, there's so many extra things that I could have if I had any space at all. But like this space I'm in right now used to have one of the tiniest hatchbacks you can get in it, and there's not even room for that. That's in the driveway right now. Does then have the oil settle out, loses stickiness, running through muller fixes. See, Chirpy's got it. And I can always just, get it out and mix it all up myself, which is a possibility. Hello, Master of Contraption. How's the garage in the new house? Don't know yet. Don't have a new house yet. I mean, ideally it would be larger, and I would also like a floor drain if possible, but that's not a requirement. I know in our city the ordinance is you can't have a floor drain. So if your house is built outside the city limits, then you don't have a problem. And these city limits are like go right across some neighborhoods. Like they'll be like across the street from each other. Use it to pee in? No, I'll probably be hosing stuff down. Right now I never hose anything down in the garage because there's no floor drain. It'll just get all sticky and goopy. And I don't want like mud on the floor. Hello from BC, Canada. Hello. Hello, hello. I saw a house the other day. I was in there fixing stuff. It looked like they didn't have a pit, but they did have like stairs going down the middle of their garage, and they had these big grates across, and they had like an SUV parked on top. So like you're not allowed to have a pit in your garage, but somehow they got away with that. Don't know how they did that. It like stepped down to like an entranceway to the garage, their basement, but it wasn't like off to the side or like along the back wall. Like sometimes it was like right under the car, and it was a big wide stairs. That was kind of neat. I mean, it might work as a pit if your car had wide enough wheelbase, but I don't know if I'd want to risk that. Of course, their pit wouldn't be a pit. It would be like steps. So you'd be trying to work on a car laying on stairs, which doesn't sound fun. And then if you spill oil on it, your stairs become real slick. I'm going to start folding up some boxes while we chat here. See, I would kind of like, ideally, I would like these Home Depot small heavy-duty boxes for most of the stuff, just because when they're folded up, they're really easy to carry, because they got these handles, but also they're not too big, because if they're too big, they get too heavy. And they're really thick. I got some medium ones too. Don't know what I'll use any larger ones for, maybe clothing, something light. But even then, a box full of clothing is not that light. How's the house hunting going? Well, we're just looking. We're just keeping an eye open, and so far, nothing really has popped up that looks great. I mean, a lot of houses very similar to ours. They come and go really fast because the neighborhood we're in, and the size of our house, they sell like crazy. Or just like a little bit bigger one. Imagine how much more content you'd make if we had 10 extra square feet. I would need a lot more than 10 extra square feet. I would need like 100 extra square feet minimum, and half of that would just be filled with more stuff that I leave in the shed. You can get the same size U-Haul, buy it back any turn. Interesting. That's interesting. I have my parents and my brother, they're all saving boxes for me. So that's handy. Especially my parents, they get parts shipments every day. Folding up a box. I don't know what size is optimal. I'm thinking if I'll go with the heavy-duty small ones, they're pretty cheap. And then if they're all the same size, they'll stack really tight together, and I can kind of make it efficient that way. And if I get a bunch of free boxes, none of them are going to match. They're all going to be different sizes. But they will be free. We use huge boxes at work called Gaylord boxes. We put them pallets, hold ton of weight of scrap steel. Interesting. Cardboard? They're like big cardboard boxes. It's like I could use a big box that's really heavy duty, but if it's full, I have to be able to pick it up by myself. Have you thought about adding a second floor? I've heard of people doing that, and from what I hear, it's not very nice on your first floor. And like house values have gone up so much in my neighborhood, I could definitely just like get a home equity loan or whatever and pay for like half another house again, but I don't know that I'd want to do that, especially if I'm kind of trapped the way my lot is arranged. I'm trapped as far as garage space. I can't get another inch of garage space within the code, within city code. I could definitely build the house back, but the back of my garage is not the back of my house. It's the side of my house. The back of my house is like the living room faces the back of the house. So I'd be dumping a whole lot more money into a house with a cramped garage. Construction takes forever these days. Yeah, and I'd have to wait a few years to get someone to build it, because all the builders are building new houses as quickly and flimsily as possible and selling them for big money. You could 3D print for them. You could cut a handle in the small boxes. That's true. The cardboard, the small boxes aren't heavy duty. They're only single layer, where these ones are double. So I don't know it would have the strength to hold, especially since the extra small boxes are just packed full of books. Like they're seriously like 50 pounds or more. Because I like Tetris them really tight. And there was someone from the Grassroots Motorsports forum earlier. I have one of those boxes is almost entirely Grassroots Motorsports magazines, and those are heavy. Those are dense. Price of lumber, yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's come down a little bit. I had a customer tell me it came down a little. So it's only unreasonably high instead of just insanely, stupidly high. It's much better now. I like how they also have the cutouts here, so you can tape this. You can just tape it open like that and have a bigger open top box. Hello, Scott Garvin. Really not looking forward to moving that air compressor. My gigantic air compressor. I mean, these kilns are bigger, but they're lighter because they're light fire brick and a lot of them come apart. And I did carry them in here by myself. They're dense because of the knowledge in the magazines. That's right. It's full of knowledge. All the best ways to take a $500 Miata and turn it into a race car. Hello, Danny. I see a Danny. It's quite a thing to think about. Like, how did I amass all of this garbage in like the 5 years I've been here? And how am I going to get it all to the new place? And do I really want to get it all to the new place? I mean, the big space hog things are all coming with. I'm leaving the workbenches. See that? Here's a workbench folded up on the wall. Here's one that's folded down on the ground. They both fold up and a single screw affixes them to the wall. There's a hinge along a board. I had a wide board there and it's screwed into the studs. And then the back of the bench sits on that with a hinge, piano hinge. So when it's down, all the weight is on that board or on the legs, and they all fold up nice. I'm just going to leave those. I'm not going to bring them with. I'm not going to bother sticking them on the wall in a new garage. I'm just going to wait till I'm at the new garage and then design a new old workbench shelving thing. I'm going to leave these shelves too. That shelf is built out of an old workbench that was in this building, and it's fit into a little like slot in the wall. So that's staying. Next to that, this shelf, where am I going? There, that shelf, that's coming with, because that's a freestanding shelf. English wheel coming with, heat treat oven coming with, kilns coming with. That one, I should just get rid of that one, that huge one that I don't use. That one's really huge, and I don't even have power for it. That's the other thing. I want the new place to have 50 amp service in the garage minimum. I have 30 amp in here and it's not good enough. 30 amp 220, not good enough. Down to 700. Will moving impact your job at all? No, because I'm moving in the same, I'm hopefully going to move in the same like side of the same town. That would be ideal. Or like around this area. Hopefully it'll probably be within a 10-minute drive of where I'm at right now. And I usually start work. There's like the work truck is in my driveway. So wherever I go, as long as I'm within the same area, it's not going to affect me at all. I just really like this area, so I would like to stay in this. If I could find the house I want that's like 2 blocks away, that would be perfect. Or ideally, if I could just make my lot a little bigger and then build this house bigger in the same spot and keep the neighbors, that would be better. Like the neighbors are nice, the school district's nice. I would like to stick here if possible. Start a Paul's Garage sale on eBay, maybe. Maybe I could sell a whole bunch of junk on eBay. I'll probably, I don't know what I'll do. Nothing that's worth a dime is going away. I'm probably going to keep most of it. I do have a couple other things though. Like I have a couple of bicycles over here that were in the basement. I'm getting rid of those. It's like, do I really need the mountain bike that I rode when I was in middle school? Like I don't fit the thing anymore. Visit his Etsy and buy some bowels. I don't sell bowels. I mean, there are bowls up on the Etsy site for sale right now. There'll probably be more from there. There's not too many bowls in there though. Rain stop, can go do some woodworking. Okay, rainy season. We will see you. Thank you for stopping by, Dan Roswood. I'll see you later. See you on the Discord. And anyone who's hasn't checked out the Discord, it's worth a check out. Yeah, I have a whole bunch more stuff that I need to put on the Etsy store, including stuff that's cooling right now. Although a lot of that is who are visiting this weekend. We're having a party tomorrow, and if enough things come out of there that are nice, those are going to a lot of them as birthday gifts. We're having like a massive family birthday get together because of 4 family birthdays in the last couple weeks, or within 2 weeks ago to a week from now. Yes, there's a Discord. The link to Discord from Chirpy. Thank you very much. We are on there a lot. My activity on the Discord varies quite a bit. Sometimes I'm posting all day. A lot of times I'm not. I read most of it though. Sounds like a good time. Yep. Indeed. So I need to figure out what am I going to put in here. Because there are a few things that I know I can put in there. I obviously don't need hand planes, and probably don't need my wood chisels, although I'm going to be fixing some stuff up in the house. Stuff, that's right. I have these shelves over in the corner over there that you can't see because it's behind the van. I can box some of that stuff up. I actually have a whole bunch of junk in there that was in this garage when I moved in. It was full of stuff. And anything that was remotely cool, I just kept and threw it over there. There is a wood-turned, like, stemmed drinking chalice thing, wood-turned, out of ironwood. That's over there. It was in the garage. It was full of, like, bouncy balls and mouse poop. And I evicted the mice. They were hidden behind the workbench that I used to build those shelves. And I think the bouncy balls might still be in. There's a Nerf gun, like all little odds and ends. Bunch of license plates. I'm gonna go get that cup, actually. That's pretty cool. Hold on. The AC compressor, the AC condenser for the van is over there. A Nerf gun. Got this. Dusty ironwood cup. Got the really dark heartwood. It's also surprisingly heavy for being thin and made out of wood. And this is where it kept the Nerf darts, apparently. And it didn't crack. No cracks, but look at that. Pretty cool. Chirpy has a wood lathe. Maybe he'd be interested in making some stuff like this. I don't know what it's like to turn ironwood, though. I imagine it's not easy. I'm going to try this thing out. This thing better work. Oh, it's already loaded. It's It's already loaded. Let's see, how does this one? It works. Oh, well, that dart's gone forever. It's pretty tough stuff. Not that bad, really. Is it something like when you were here and we were doing the metal turning, where like iron was actually easier than aluminum because the aluminum was really soft? It's like wood turning pine. Maybe that's really difficult because it's so soft. I know using a sharpened chisel to like cut the end grain is really difficult. So if your chisel's not perfect, it doesn't cut. It just tears through all the soft wood. Wonder if turning this hard stuff is like that. I don't know. It also looks very, very shellacked. There's definitely a film coating on this. I'm not sure you can see, but the coating has cracking all over it. It looks like crazing in pottery, but it's on a shellac covering on wood. Very crazy. I heard a story that they used to use this to make like bushings on old ships, where like the prop shaft goes through, because it's very oily wood. I don't know if that's true or not. Pretty sweet. Got a revolver. You can load the darts in there. There are like ways you can modify these. I've heard there are places that sell kits to like make Nerf guns even more powerful. Easy to get a good finish on it. Pretty abrasive to the wood tools. That makes sense. Killits Gaming, hello, welcome back. I remember you from the last one. A few of them. We have some frequent flyers. I know a bunch of people who started streaming recently, actually. No one doing this kind of stuff. Someone's doing, I have a sister-in-law who's doing like a study with me thing, where she's like in school, so she'll like study, and she'll just put like the camera on, just live stream. She has a counter going on her phone, right? So it'll count down 50 minutes, she'll study. The alarm goes off, she'll set it for 10 minutes, and then she'll watch like a TV show for 10 minutes, and back to 50 minutes of studying. And she does this for like hours straight, like 8 hours straight. And I'm thinking, wow, maybe I would have done a lot better in school if I actually studied at all, especially if it was 9 hours in a row. That's pretty crazy. I did a lot more video games for 9 hours than I did studying for 9 hours when I was in school. Somehow graduated. Don't know how that worked. I also have this shelf right here. That one is just random piles of junk that I'm going to have to clean up. And then over that one is actually metal casting stuff that's down there. Should have studied more. Yeah, me too. Although I found recently there are a bunch of courses online by MIT. They have like, you can go to the website, get the syllabus that says all the readings. So you got to buy the books or whatever. But a lot of them even have lectures. So if you want to learn like coding, use random garbage bags. I got some garbage bags. Get bored in classes, read the books, sleep through classes, more or less. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. I mean, if you buy a textbook, you can learn from it. But there's always like that factor of like, did the guy who wrote the textbook really know how to write clearly? Is it better to have a teacher like lecture you what the book says in words that aren't so edited? You know, who knows? But if you can have both, that's even better. Plus, if you have questions, you can't ask nobody the book itself. A lot of like I found math books in particular were not written by people who knew how to write English. Like, I don't know what it is. Like I remember I had a professor in college who we had to do like a quantitative course, and we had a couple of books for it and like articles, and he said, well, here's the book we're going through, but don't bother reading it because they don't know how to write. It doesn't make any sense. So he would say like, this is what we're going to learn, and you could page through it, and then you get to class and the teacher would actually teach you like what the book was trying to say but couldn't, because it was written by a mathematician. Need to do more casting videos. I would like this. That is very true. I'm probably going to keep all the casting stuff in the garage and ready, like able to use. I'm not going to pack it all up, but I am going to pack up a bunch of other stuff and load it in my truck and take it to the storage unit. Although probably not today. I don't have room in the storage unit at the moment. Teachers just came for the paycheck. That was it. That's unfortunate. So I know where I went to high school, there were definitely some teachers who were just like checked out and they weren't doing anything. When I went to college, though, it was very different. It was a undergrad only university, and they're very focused on teaching. So like they have a very low they had a very low requirement of publication. So a lot of universities, you have to publish like a certain amount just to get tenure. And then once you get tenure, you have to publish a lot if you want like promotions where you get more money. Because like beyond tenure, there are many more stages. So the more you publish, the higher you go. The university I went to, there was a publishing requirement, but it wasn't very great to get tenure. Once you got tenure, they really didn't care. They really didn't care about publishing. But it was very much teaching, very teaching focused, and there weren't even TAs. Every class was a professor taught course, like the professor themselves. So that was great as far as an undergraduate experience goes. How big is the new garage? Not sure. Haven't bought the new house yet. We were advised to get this one ready to sell it so we can make offers without contingency of home sale, because people are not accepting offers that are contingent on home sale right now, just because houses sell so quickly right now. How's the truck been? The truck's been fine. Both fuel doors not rusty. I was thinking about that the other day. I remember I did both fuel doors. I cut out the rust. I welded in new metal, and then I painted one with acrylic lacquer and the other, I think, with urethane. And neither are rusty. Not a single one has gotten rusty. And it's not like it's indoors. It's been outdoors for this entire time, and it's been driven in the salt. And I have never washed the truck once. And neither fuel door is rusty right now. They both look just as good / bad as they did. Did the van get moved yet? No, it will not. I think it'll be on the back of a flatbed, probably. Probably a flatbed. I mean, if I put the radiator back in, I could drive it, but I also have the windows out of it, and the door is off, and the headlights aren't, like the whole front end of it's off, so it probably wouldn't be that safe to drive it. I'd probably definitely get pulled over. So yeah, flatbed. I might try to like hook it all up and start it up so I can drive it onto the flatbed, but I don't know if it'll work. That would be a bit sketchy. We have rain for washing your cars. That's right. It's been rained on quite a lot. It's been rained on several times in the last many years. Zero washing though. I haven't even driven it into a car wash. And I had the bed of it was full of like topsoil for like a year or two. I mean, it doesn't have topsoil in it anymore, but it's still filthy. So there's like stagnant water in it on and off for a while. It's no rustier than it was anyway. I'll take your casting stuff so you don't have to move it. Yeah, I'm not sure you'd want it. A lot of the stuff I have around here is really haphazardly built. Haven't seen some of the cars driven around here. Van would seem like a loaded model. Yeah, well, it was loaded at one point. I mean, just the fact that it had power doors and power locks, and like in the 80s, power seats, and a VCR. It's fancy, right? I could play video cassettes. But no, it's still here. I wonder if it would be more or less terrifying to drive it without the doghouse on. Because like it's hard to tell when you're driving a van because there's like the doghouse covering the engine. But you can take one hand, spread it out. With your thumb, you can push the gas pedal, and with your right pinky, you can touch the exhaust manifold. That's how close everything is. So without the doghouse, I'd probably get burned. Did you graduate college to fix appliances? No, I graduated college with anthropology. It was anthropology, and then from there I went to graduate school for historical archaeology, and then anthropology again. Although archaeology is a subfield of anthropology, and historical archaeology is a subfield of archaeology. Driving without a doghouse isn't bad. Yeah, there'd be a lot of airflow, wouldn't there? Especially because I got the side windows like removed, so like the air could go right through into the cab, and then like there's no back pressure, it would go right out the gigantic window holes. I don't think it would be that bad, unless this thing, in the very likely case where this thing is spraying oil, then I would get sprayed with hot oil. I mean, all the oil's leaked out of it long ago, so there wouldn't be much to spray me. Can be nice, bit smoky, noisy. It would be really noisy. This thing has headers, shorty headers, and then let's go to like the pipes that connect where from there they go into the catalytic converters, which aren't there, to the muffler, which isn't, it's just rusted right off. So it would be like straight pipe under open doghouse. Sound it made, sort of gas pressure too low compared to the air intake. Lets you know when it's not happy. Well, this thing is so loud. The Devil Forge. Do you have a video on gas air settings? No, I do not. I do not have a Devil Forge. I built mine. I built my furnace from scratch. I built that. I built a couple other things from scratch, or I converted these. This isn't. You could use this for metal casting, I suppose, but it's kind of not the right shape for it. Earmuffs. I do have some nice I have the Bluetooth noise canceling ones that I use for mowing the lawn. They might not be loud enough because I think I'm pretty sure this thing was already earmuff loud before I took it all apart. Run them higher pressure on the regulator. In my experience, with the burner I have is not a burner you can buy. Mine's the one I built. So it doesn't work like a normal one. And I have found that higher pressure setting on the regulator is always better. Come join us on the Discord. Yes, Chirpy is correct. Come join us on the Discord. And on the Discord, too, you can share pictures and you can actually share video as long as they're not very big. You can share video and we can hear exactly what you're talking about. It would make it easier. And by we, I, of course, mean Chirpy because he's the one who can help you out the most. And there is the link, yes, from Chirpy. Oh, I'm just chatting right now. I'm so not looking forward to actually starting to box up the junk in here. It is crazy. Don't remember with windows open. With them closed, it doesn't pull a lot of air in. Less than a motorcycle. Yeah, that's a good point. But I'm not talking windows open. I'm talking windows gone. Like they're removed. They're not even there. Like the side of this van is 50% window hole right now. Did all the books get packed? No, I ran out of boxes. I still have about half of them on the shelves. About half. I would say half of them are on the shelves. And all the magazines are out of there. And most of the sheet music. So I used to play violin. I have all the sheet music. And sheet music ain't cheap. So you keep that stuff. And I had like 2 of these boxes are just sheet music. Which is insane. And all like the music theory books from when I was a music theory major. Kept all of those. All my wife's books from when she was like pre-med for a couple years. So I've like, you want to learn about organic chemistry? I have all the books you need. And I'm never going to read them because I don't want to learn about that. Could transport the van. I think it's a 4-hour drive. That might be a bit of a drive. I think I'm just gonna tow it with my pickup. As my pickup, I'll just rent. Just dropped in. What's this pack? You moving? Yes. Not soon, but packing a lot of stuff to get it out of here to stage the house for sale and then moving. Yes. And yes, welcome back, World Traveler. It's been a while. I don't think I've seen you at a recent stream, but my recent streams have been at like midnight, so I don't blame you. 650. Okay, this is down to 650. I'm gonna crack the lid open a little more. Crack the lid open, help it cool faster. I just pick it up and stick a kiln prop in there to open it up. It's like the opposite of like a metal casting furnace. It's like all these things get super hot. Like that thing gets hot enough to melt iron. It's crazy. But it takes 10 hours to get there. It's just crazy. But like the gas furnace, the gas one over here, I could probably do it, in an hour and a half, which is much faster, but still not fast enough. And then my metal casting one over there, just so much more power that if I put anything in there that wasn't like a graphite clay crucible and iron, it would just melt and or explode in like minutes. Time to get up the marshmallows. Yeah, I wonder what's the optimum oven temperature if you wanted to roast marshmallows? Because I could program this one here on the stand, the heat treat one. I could program that to just like hold the exact right temperature. Just like crack the lid open, stick your marshmallow in, it would like roast all sides at once and pull it out. I bet you could do it at like 400, 500, something like that. Just get the perfect marshmallow in your perfect temperature controlled heat treat oven. And it's big too. I could stick in like a whole bunch of marshmallows at once. Not this one at a time on a stick crap. I wonder if I should do that someday. Just try to roast a meatloaf in the heat treat oven just for a joke. April Fool's video or whatever. Perfect heat treated meatloaf. Because like an oven heats from below. A lot of them heat by air. They heat the air up. A lot of newer ones heat the air out of sight, and then the air either rises through holes or just the bottom plate gets hot and slowly heats up the air. But this heat treat oven here would heat from the coils, also from the coils, radiant from the coils all the way around. So it'd be like a broiler where you get the heat radiating from the top, but 360 degrees. Do complete broiling of an entire meatloaf. That might be interesting. Someone should call Gordon Ramsay. Let him know we have a new way to cook stuff. Forget the individual graham cracker. Use graham cracker pie crust. Yeah, there you go. If you use a graham cracker pie crust, put down a layer of Hershey's, then the marshmallows on top. And when you cover it in sprinkled chocolate, and then you like make a s'more pie. Get it to 800, hold the steak there for 1 minute. Yeah, that would be. I went to a steakhouse once, not to mention it, where they said they heat their up, they like put the steak in and it's like 1500 degrees and it's just to sear everything immediately. Then they cook it at like 500 really fast and they serve it to you on a plate that's like 500 degrees. So when they bring it out, it's like, I always order medium rare. So they bring it out and it's like seared and it's rare, but it's sitting there on a plate that you cannot touch. So it like cooks itself to medium rare right in front of you. That was always really good steak. Old Mega Marshmallow. Tobo Mod, hello. Any plans for the gingery lathe? Yes, I'm bringing it with me. Obviously, I'm not going to get rid of it. When I keep doing it, I'm not sure I'll be doing a whole lot to it before I move, but there is a guy who offered some machining services, and I got his number. I should probably call him, let him know it's me, and say I haven't forgot about him. But no, I'm definitely bringing with. There's no chance the gingery lathe is going anywhere. I mean, not going anywhere. I mean, it's going with me to the new place. It isn't going a separate way from me. There's too many times that I see things and I think, yeah, I really need a lathe. Really need to get on that. 573. Now, some people don't like popping these open too early. Yes, the AA crew is starting to pop up here tonight. That's right, there's a couple of people. Some people freak out when they open this too early. They think everything's going to crack and it'll be all ruined. But I think they're a bunch of wussies. Because if the stuff that you make in there, if it's like pottery and it can't handle like boiling water being poured into it, or like bakeware, like bake something in the oven, pull it out of the oven at 350 and set it on like those pad things. If it can't handle that amount of thermal shock, I don't want the thing. If you're holding a cup and you like boil water and you pour it in there and then it just breaks in half all over you, that's not good. But if the thing can handle like 350 degrees and just pull it straight out in the air, then it can handle making my coffee. Now it's stress test everything. It has to be able to handle it. And then even when it's out of there, I don't stop the stress testing. I throw it in the freezer. Like if you lower the temperature, the difference in expansion of the glaze and the clay can cause issues. Well, if I can throw it in the freezer when it's hot and it cools off without breaking or causing any issues, I'm good. That's another stress test. Stress test everything. That's also how I have cars. But don't tell my insurance agent that. I did find out recently, speaking of cars, my wife's car burns oil. It's the only car we have that's not older then so like in Wisconsin, if your car is 20 years old, you can get a collector license plate, and that's the only car that isn't closer to collector plate than it is to new. Like actually, new that aren't collectors already, collector plate 20 years or older, and one of those is pretty close to collector plate. Late to the party, Evil Twin X. Hello, good to see you. Tell us about your new setup. We are moving. We haven't found a new place yet. We cannot get a new place very easily until we sell this one, because houses are selling so quickly here. If you make an offer on a house that is contingent on selling your house, they won't take the offer. They won't even accept the offer to consider it. And to sell the house, close on it and say, I will pay you this much for your house, and here's $100,000 down. We can sign papers now. That's the only way they're accepting offers. A lot of them are accepting offers because the house market here, everyone's selling, or everyone is looking for a house. It's a total seller's market. So we're packing up everything, getting it out, stage the house, sell it, buy a new house. That is our plan. RX-8 must burn a good bit. You'd think so. You would think so. But I don't drive it that much. I maybe do 500 miles a year, so I definitely hit the oil change time interval much quicker than I burn any of it. I always keep a quart in there, but it might be like half a quart to a quart a year, even though I don't drive it very much, but all the time that I do drive it is like to a race, at a race, and then back home. So it's like 50% of the miles are wide open throttle, so it does burn a fair bit of oil. But no, and Zcast is my wife drive a Fiat. No, she drives a Subaru. I've heard they burn oil, and like I was looking up, like it started rattling. It's only like 10,000 miles. It started rattling. It was like intermittent rattle, and I was like, huh, why is this rattling? So I Google it. It's like, oh, literally everything on these engines can rattle, and they all burn oil. Oh, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Where would you live after you've sold yours but haven't found another yet? Generally, you rent from the house that you just sold. So you continue paying, you basically sell it and then pay the mortgage month to month if you haven't moved to a new house yet. But we're probably not even going to sell this house until we close to 50% of the miles in your daily driver are wide open throttle also. Yes, that's true. That's how a lot of people drive. I think my wife drives like that too, because it burned a lot of oil. It was like a quart and a half low, which I was not happy about. But I mean, I'm not really checking her car. You've got new cars, your daily driver is 20 years old. My daily driver is my work truck. I really don't drive anything else. But everything else is like, well, I got two things from the 80s and one from 93. And then the RX-8 is a 2009. So right pedal on off switch. That's right. That's right. I did drive my 323 for the first time in a while today. I went to buy the oil in the 323. That was interesting. That thing, like a couple months ago, the exhaust broke on it. Like I drove to Menards, everything was fine. Come out, hit the key, sounded like someone stole the catalytic converters or whatever. I mean, they didn't, obviously, but there's this gap in the exhaust like this much, like the pipe broke off of a flange. Like that was the last heat cycle that flange liked. It's the original exhaust, and I can't get another one. So I can't get another OEM one. I mean, a stock one. And I think everyone stopped making aftermarket parts for that car like 10 years ago. So I'm probably just gonna have to weld it up. Or live with being deaf. It did make the turbo noises a lot louder though, which is cool, because it rusted up, kind of like turbo downpipe flange rust off right there. So the turbo is very cool sounding. All right, coming up on an hour. Probably gonna check out at an hour unless a bunch of questions roll in or something. Just because it's about dinner time. And my wife might need help wrangling the kids. Down to 524. cooling off a little quicker now. I have stuff right near the top of that too, so if I like whip it open wide, the stuff on the top might break at like 550 or so. 550 to room temperature. Although it is about 80 degrees in here right now. Here's the Discord link. We'll be there after the stream. Yes, everybody check that out. I have a lot of bicycles in here. I need to get rid of some of these. Our storage unit is also the storage unit that we use for the business. So like moving appliances and getting the scrap guy, and some idiot parked an RX-8 in the way of all this junk. And the battery in there is definitely dead. How many kids do you have? 2.5. Got 2 and 1 on the way. And 1 on the way is coming in March. Well, I should say, we're not just packing up to sell it right now. We're packing it up to like clear a bunch of stuff, and then I'm gonna fix a bunch of the stuff that's broke that like children have covered in crayon. It's like we're obviously not gonna renovate the house right before we sell it, but like we need a fresh coat of paint on a lot of stuff. So that's pretty much what I'll be doing. Fresh coat of paint everywhere. And congratulations, 0.5. Thank you very much. We found out it is a girl, so we girl, boy, girl. They did this like weird blood test thing, where like they took my wife's blood, and I guess at a certain point in the pregnancy there's some baby blood in the wife's blood. I don't know how that works. So they do that to check for like chromosome issues and other things. Like the kid's fine, and they found out it's a girl. So I don't know if they found out the baby or if my wife is a girl and they mistook the wrong blood. I don't know. I assume the people in the lab know what they're doing. I'm assuming they do. They know better than I do. And I don't really care either way. Got one of each, so we're all set. Witchcraft. Yeah, that's how they do it. Obviously. I mean, that's the only way I can think. Because like it was too early to tell on an ultrasound. It's like, oh, we can just take your blood and send it to the lab witch, and the witchcraft will do its magic and let us know which baby it is. Great. Science. Probably science. Probably more likely science than witchcraft. But hey, sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, or so someone said once. Is that Arthur C. Clarke, maybe? I don't really know. Suddenly more people are watching. How does that happen? Is it the faster I talk, the more people stay? Is that how it works? Should I just like go get a whole pot of coffee and like just chug it so I can like up my words per minute? Probably a bad idea. Also, we threw out the coffee maker. As blasphemous as that sounds, I kind of stopped drinking coffee. I switched to a lot more tea, and we are using the crap out of the coffee pot, the tea kettle. You mentioned winding down, so we're flooding in. Yeah, well, if you keep flooding in, I guess I'll just keep talking. Yeah, I switched to tea, and I don't shake quite as bad anymore. Although it didn't stop the shaking as much as I thought it might. I suspected the shaking was all coffee, but it's not. Oh, Manila. Interesting. I don't think anyone's ever come from Manila. What kind of tea? Just green tea. Standard green tea or English breakfast tea is pretty good. Tried Earl Grey tea. I didn't really like it that much. I've tried matcha tea. I don't have any matcha tea left, and I don't think I'm gonna buy any more because I wasn't a huge fan of that. Which it's kind of a bummer because like there's stuff you can make, like pottery stuff you can make that uses for matcha tea for the tea ceremony, and it's basically just like a bowl, but kind of a specific bowl, and you call it a tea bowl, and suddenly it's worth 5 times as much money, and people will buy it. I don't know why, but it would be very lucrative. But I don't feel like it would be right to say, I have known nothing about this tea ceremony. I don't even like matcha tea. Here's a cereal bowl. Give me lots more money. No, I don't do that. You have one of those matcha bowls. I have a couple of them. I just don't like matcha that much. Maybe it's got to grow on me. Maybe if I just pack it full of like sugar and mint, because there's like matcha mint ice cream or whatever. And I like that, but I don't know if it's I like matcha or if it's I like all the ice cream with a little matcha. You know, because like I've heard people say, if you drink your coffee with tons of cream and sugar, I got news for you. You don't like coffee. You like sugar. I definitely like sugar. Like a little honey in it. That would help a lot, I think. The honey, because it's just like feels like to me the matcha is like if you open the tea pack and then you just like dump it in your mouth dry. Like that's what matcha tastes like to me. And I don't know. Maybe it's an acquired taste. It must be acquired. And like that tea ceremony thing, like that's like a Japanese custom. There's like other Asian cultures that have like a tea ceremony thing that varies somewhat. Like, well, I'm not really part of. I'm not Japanese. I'm not really part of that, and I don't really like matcha, so I'm not even gonna bother. I mean, I'll make the stuff. I made a teapot the other day for a gift for someone. It doesn't pour very well though, so sorry. You're getting it for free though. Does anyone else have recommendations? Yerba mate and black tea. I've tried black tea, brown tea. I've talked to my dentist. My dentist's a friend of mine, and I said, so if I stop drinking coffee and switch to tea, will that'll like reduce the staining on my teeth? And he said, oh, tea stains a lot worse. Like, oh great, good to hear it. It's gonna make it even worse. Catnip tea treats nervousness and anxiety along with other symptoms, indigestion and insomnia. Interesting. Wonder if it works better or worse than anti-anxiety meds, because those were great. 488. It's much cooler now. So your teeth will be green. He says at least black. He said he has one patient who drinks like this, like a mint tea, and it just gives him black rings where his teeth meet his gums. It just makes them black. Is there such a thing as weed tea? Probably. I mean, you could make anything into tea. There's like, I kept finding articles for like dandelion tea. It's like when I see dandelion, I spray poison on it. I don't want to make a tea out of that. And then there's a bamboo tea, where it's like a grass clippings basically, and it's supposed to help like blood pressure or cholesterol or something like that. Although the medical article that I found on that was published in North Korea, so I don't know if I trust that. Now, on a judge, this doesn't look like clean your packing. I am packing something. Packing your ears with words. Look, Cone. Look, Cone. I folded one box up. Sorry to traumatize you with the Home Depot labeling, but I taped one box up, and I have several more over there ready to tape. And I asked about strategies. Whoop. And if you look here, there has been some packing. Whoop. YouTube does not like me rotating my phone. So there's been some packing. Well, that's gonna fall apart, probably. You're probably right there. Oh, come on, duct tape, stay together. I'm reusing a piece of duct tape to hold together something that already broke long ago. Standard around here. Whoops, I just kicked the tripod. Oh, don't fall apart. Don't fall apart. So yeah, Cone, I am packing eventually. Why packing? What earth-shattering developments have I missed? We are planning to move. My wife is pregnant. We need a bigger house with another bedroom. I'm trying to negotiate a larger garage out of the deal, but that kind of depends on the market. Seems like everyone's got the same size house as me. Like if you get a bigger garage, it's like attached to the same house, which like why move then? Or it's the same size garage as me, but a bigger house. And I'd like both together without them also being like 6,000 square feet and $500,000, because I don't have $500,000. So who knows? Just gonna take one lorry just to take the contents of the garage. You know, when I moved here, we moved from a much smaller house. There's a duplex, and it took one Penske truck, the 26-foot long Penske truck, floor to ceiling all the way back. Oh, I have someone open the door. Stay inside. I have a 5-year-old looking at me. It took that full to the ceiling, my van full to the ceiling, and a trailer pulled behind a Suburban, all full completely, and a couple of cars also full to move to this place. And this place is bigger, and now I have way more junk. So it's gonna be interesting. You're awake when the stream's on. Hello, David. Good evening, sir. And here I was talking about ending like 10 minutes ago. I guess I'm not. I guess I'll keep talking for a little while. I'll give you a tentative 15-minute extension. And I have a live studio audience. Though he will probably not join us. Moved here with a TT. Not sure you can move out of here with a train. Yeah. Yeah, how does that work? Like, you move to a bigger place, and it's like all the stuff just breeds with itself, and now you get like triple the amount of stuff. And and kids are the same way. Like the kid stuff just like explodes, and suddenly you got 20 times more kid stuff. It's like we're actually gonna get a dumpster. We're gonna hire a guy to bring a dumpster and just put it in the garage. Not talking like one of the little ones that the truck can just pick up and dump. I'm talking like the long ones. We're gonna get one of those, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be full of junk, and we might need another one. And I'm probably gonna need a Penske truck, or like I got a box truck now for work. I'm just gonna use that, and a pickup, and I'm probably gonna stuff the van full of junk and tow it to the new place. It'll be like one of them pods, but it'll be a van on wheels. Remember when all your stuff fit in your pickup? Something has been there. You know, when I would move into college and out of college, all of my stuff would fit in the van. But it would fill the van, like floor to ceiling all the way back. And I don't think my dorm room wasn't bigger than my van. It was like the same size. I don't know how I fit it all in there. I mean, I probably could have just slept in the van and saved the 10 grand a year they charge for us to live in the dorms, that they required us to live in the dorms. Do a garage sale, save on the skip. Oh, the garage sale, or the skip, the garbage, it's not just for stuff we don't want to move. It's also like carpet and like other stuff that I'm going to take apart. Gotta go. Good night. All right. Good night, Paul. Joke. Thank you for joining us. Nobody knows what happens in closed boxes. Yeah, they just keep growing. How long before the kids paint the forge pink? I don't know. My daughter has to grow up enough to be able to use spray paint. And currently all the spray paint is in that box, that bin. I guess that's one thing that'll make it really easy to move to the new place. Gonna risk moving this again. A lot of my garage storage has everything in clear bins. Oh no, that's the electronic stuff, the wiring. That's the spray paint box. That's the car detailing box. I'll have to rotate this much more. There's other boxes of organization over there. There's some other bins of organization. So moving stuff from this garage, a lot of the storage, the stored stuff is just going to be pull the bin down, put it in the storage unit. I could probably do that pretty easily. Oh yeah, I'm going to leave all those shelves too. Is the shop fridge coming? You know, this fridge, this ancient fridge, I kind of want to bring it because it still works and it's perfectly fine. But it's not just a fridge. It's also the ladder that I need to access the attic up there. So I'll leave it there. It's so tidy, much space. You'd think so, but the floor also looks like this. So like the organization hasn't really cleaned up the joint. It's just allowed me to put even more junk here. Do you have any ideas brewing for future video series? Yeah, your drawing board. I mean, maybe I'll throw the fridge out and I'll just take the door with me and hang the door on the wall, and that'll be my whiteboard. Future series, I always have a lot of ideas. I'm forcing myself not to execute most of the ideas because I need to finish some of the ideas I have first. So definitely continuing the gingery lathe, which is on the workbench that I can't get to because of all the junk. From there, I don't know what I'll do immediately after that. Although moving to the new place I might need a short series of like building new shelves, like new shelves and shelves and workbenches in the new garage. I think I'll probably have to do that before I can do all this other stuff. So there'll probably be a series or a mini series or something on that. So yeah, that's gonna happen because when I get to the garage, I'm not just gonna like walk in and suddenly like, oh, that's where I put the English wheel and that's where I put the forge stuff. And you know, so there's going to be that. Am I right in thinking you are a white goods engineer? Did I make that up? Some of your aluminum heat sinks, motor casting melt look familiar. I am not an engineer. I am a repairman, a mechanic. I have no formal engineer training. Although I have kind of an engineering mindset. Always have. There are There's a private Patreon video all about why that is. It's actually a good idea to plan out a shop layout. Yeah, so that's my idea. So what we're gonna do, I've already made the plans for this. So when we get the new place, hopefully I'll have a bigger garage than this, and I'm going to move a lot of stuff. So the furniture will go in the house, like arrange the couches and the beds in the bedrooms and whatever. And then we're gonna put all the boxes in the garage, and then we'll take the boxes apart one by one and take the stuff out of there and put them when they go in the new house. And if they're going to stay in storage, they go back in the storage boxes and take them to the storage unit. So nothing will go in the house without a place for it to go. That's the plan. And then the garage will be empty. Well, empty enough. And I will lay out the garage for the shop and then unpack into the shop. And then all the junk that's not going to stay in the shop will go to wherever it's going to be stored, depending. And then the car comes in. You need like 10,000 square foot garage. Yeah, no kidding. There's one house that I really like that's for sale. The problem is it's about $100,000 too expensive, and it has a detached garage. The one I'm talking about, Cone. So the house has a 2-car attached to, kind of like an extra big 2-car attached garage. Don't care. It also has a really big detached garage, which has like room for like think of it like an extra wide, extra long 2-car garage. We're talking like 2 Suburbans plus ample room around them. So probably like 4 of the cars that I usually drive, because I have tiny things except for the van. And then behind that, there's a door in the back of that. There's another like horizontal stall. It's like 10 feet deep. That's a workshop. That would be great. That house also has a greenhouse. Problem is, it's also a pretty big house and has a couple of acres of land, and I don't want to spend $400,000 on a house. You know, because even with like the equity you have in this house, it's still going to be like a $300,000 house, and that's a bit steep for me. So yeah, sounds perfect if I could afford that, which kind of pushing it. It's like, remember, we have a 1-income household here and multiple children, so we're not swimming in cash. You know, and I'd rather not put us into a situation where I'm swimming in debt either. Like, I'm already swimming in debt, but we're staying afloat. I don't want to drown. Good paper cuts. Yeah. I really I don't know what we're gonna do. The problem is, around here, all the houses that we want to buy, like the house we're in now, and the kind of houses that we want to get, they go up in the market and sell in 2 days. You know, go up in the market, sell in 2 days. Well, that means if this one's not ready to go, we can't, don't swim in cash. Yes, paper cuts. There you go. What? Oh, Christ under Ironworks with a $5 super chat. Now you are. Thank you. I am swimming in cash in $5. You know, the market isn't saying, yeah, it's just nuts, the market. I got a tip. I got a tip during work. I usually don't get tips from work. I try to turn them down, but someone gave me a tip the other day. Two different kinds of squash, like a plant. This lady has huge garden, middle of town, middle of a city, huge, like 4 house lots. They bought 4 house lots, tore them all down, built one big house, big garden, big greenhouse. She gave me 2 squashes. She tried to give me more. I bartered her down to 2. One of them's this big, huge, and the other one's like, it would be much bigger, but it's like a long, and it makes a U shape. So my tip was like 40 pounds of 2 squash plants that were giant. And she's like, please take more. And like behind her, there's like a pile of like 90 of the things. She was very nice customer. Last time I fixed something at her house, she gave me a tip. It was a dragon fruit plant. And she had this huge dragon fruit plant, just all these cuttings. And she's like, I don't want to throw them out. Here, take one. Start a merch store. Yeah, I mean, I've looked into it, but the thing is, like, setting up all that stuff kind of takes time, and it's like I don't really want to like do this as like a money extraction thing. I don't want to like extract money from people, and that seems like, I don't know. Do people really like my videos enough that they would buy merchandise with my name on it? Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't buy merchandise with my name on it. I say wearing merchandise for a magazine that I like. I even subscribed again just recently. 2 more years comes with a free t-shirt. I got 5 of these t-shirts, and I haven't purchased a single one. Hey, Selfast and Sun Prairie. Yeah, no, it's like I think everything in this area, all of southern Wisconsin's like probably most of the place. If you have an appliance brand, do not buy. List documented. I don't have them documented. I just tell people. Need a new washer and dryer. In general, I would say buy Whirlpool products. Whirlpool, Maytag. Uh, they have a cheap and an expensive top loader. The cheap one ain't real great, but it ain't real expensive either. The expensive one is probably better. If you're getting a front loader, Electrolux and Frigidaire are good. Do not buy the top loader. I would not buy an LG appliance, although the front load washers and dryers, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. A lot of repair guys don't want to work on them. I don't think they're that bad. Their top loader, I don't think they're that great. Samsung, I wouldn't buy a Samsung anything. But also like their front loader is not terrible. I just wouldn't buy one. Speed Queen, yes. If you got the money, buy a Speed Queen. Absolutely buy a Speed Queen. Hello. Thank you, Roy from Christ Ironworks again. Thank you very much for the $5. Thank you, good sir. You're very generous. And anyone who wants forging stuff, buy or go check out Christ Ironworks channel. He is a true artist of forging. Your new 90s oven is a Frigidaire, and that just seems counterintuitive. Frigidaire is good oven. Old Frigidaire oven is good oven. I like those. Is it Whirlpool you work for? I don't work for anyone. I am an independent appliance repairman around here. We sell nothing. So I guess people call us all the time because we've been in business since like the 80s, and people ask like, hey, what should we buy? Because they know we don't sell anything and we fix all of it anyway. But I would, personally, if I had to buy a new one, I would buy a Whirlpool. If I found a bunch of cash in the couch, I would buy a Speed Queen. Or I'm probably just going to take the washer and dryer I have now. I have a 20-year-old Whirlpool top load washer, non-high efficiency, and a 20-plus-year-old Maytag dryer. That's what I'm going to bring with me. Speed Queen front or top loader, they're good. It doesn't matter. Top or front loader, they're both good machines. Rather spend the cash now than buy 3 crapshoots in the same time span. Yep. Also a repairman. Nice. Yes, I like Whirlpool appliance. I like fixing Whirlpool appliances most because I can actually get the parts, and the info you find on them is in English, which is handy. English and French. Not that I speak French. But I really prefer like the 20-year-old Whirlpool stuff. Super easy to fix. Also very tough, long-lasting. Slight difference where I live, our water is really hard on machines. It's really, really hard on machines, and an old Whirlpool top loader is the only machine that is not damaged by our water. All the new ones are damaged by our water. Found a bunch of cash on the couch, I'd buy more couches. Yes, that is for sure. Found Christ Ironworks through Paul, both are amazing. Yes, Christ Ironworks, he is a very, very, very good forge man. He has a lot of good videos too on running a small business, selling through Etsy and stuff. I've definitely watched a bunch of those. I've never commented on any of them. So Roy, if you're listening, thanks for those videos, even though I never said thank you, but I did watch a bunch of them. Machine is so popular. Yeah, machining is very popular. Buy some merch. Some of those hilarious things that maybe I'll try to figure some of that out. The thing is, the merch is always like, you have to like outsource it, and it's like print on demand through Teespring. And it seems very impersonal. You know what I mean? I don't know what. It's just impersonal. Maybe I'll do it. Also, pretty sure the logo I made using a logo generator, and I didn't pay for it. So I should probably like figure something. I'll find an artist and say like, how much make T-shirt good? Here, money. Give me design. And I know a bunch of artists. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. That would be nice, because then I would be buying art from an artist with money and then putting it on a t-shirt. So it wouldn't just be like extracting money. I would be like supporting an artist that I know. Something like that. And I know a lot of them. You still have your cast cone iron keychain. Excellent. I think I still have the pattern for it over there. I 3D printed a bunch of small orange cones. You know those like those RC cars? I have some over there. The Kyosho Mini Zs, they're like this big. They came with these tiny little orange cones, but they only came with like 6 of them. Well, now I got like 20 of them. And I use them to stack. Like I'll have like something called a bat in pottery. It's like a piece of fiberboard and something on it that you want to dry. Then I put cones around it, stick another one on top. So they're like little props. They're pretty cool. It's gotten very smooth. Nice. Yeah, that is cast aluminum. So it's not ultra hard, not super abrasion resistant. So you should be able to like make it smooth like a worry stone. And I also smoothed the cone part, and the background part was still sand texture. ZK says you use that mug every day. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Need to take off. Okay. Thank you, Chirpy. Thank you, Chirpy, for always coming to the live streams. I'm very appreciative of that. And ZK, that mug is partly clay from my backyard. So you have a part of Wisconsin there. A bunch of them in there are the same. Although that clay cannot make a mug pure. I can't just take that and make a mug because the clay gets kind of soft and the handle actually pulls them out around. So it's not really great for that. Probably because it's a great like low to mid fire. Like it'd probably be perfect if I fired it to like 2,000 degrees and I fired to 2,200 and that's like just enough. So yeah, anyone thinking you can fire stuff like that in your oven? It's like your oven goes to like 900 tops, and I fire at 2,200. Perfect size too, the fat one. Yeah, I make all different sizes. I made a bunch that were like huge, and I realized I don't really like the huge ones because the coffee gets cold before you get to the end, or the tea gets cold, or one tea bag is too dilute in it, and then when it's full of water, it's like, well, now it's really heavy, and it just isn't right. So I shifted back to like the little bit smaller ones. Some of them here are really small. I might even go even smaller because people wanted espresso cups. But like I really don't make a lot of stuff either because like who's got the time? You know, I've been spending most of my weekends like packing stuff up. You know, so I'll make like one quick run of like 20 things and then like that's it for a long time. But on the Instagram account, I've been able to like spread it out. Because like I'll post one thing at a time, but the Kindle's probably got 20 things in it, and it's not even full. Is this live chat on every Saturday? No, it is not. I've been doing it like I didn't do it last weekend, but I did the last 2 weekends, and those were both Sunday night late. But I'm trying to mix it up, so I'll do Saturday or Sunday at some random time. Bought a lathe a month ago. I've yet to make chips. Yeah, well, lathes are awesome. But I know all about not having enough time for a lathe. It's time, especially when you got kids. I know you got kids and one on the way, and you know all about that. Not a ton of time. Pro influencer. About what? About the not having time or about the not wanting to do merch? I could do like the whole influencer thing. Every video, like pause like 30 seconds in, buy my merch at this merch store. The only channel that does that all the time that I don't mind is Brain Blaze, because sometimes it's hilarious. Spreading your posts out. Yes, that's right. Because like one firing, that's big. It's expensive to fire. Well, it's expensive. It's like $10 to fire, and if you fire one thing in it, that's like a huge waste of money. So you want to pack them full. So that $20, the $10 or whatever, $5 or $10 is spread out to like 20 things. But then I'm not going to post 20 things all in one day because I don't even have time to write 20 posts in one day. So let's take a bunch of pictures, and then like on my lunch break, I'll post one. And a couple days later, post another one. So I've only fired the thing like 3 times this year, and it's all a bunch of things. It has enough time to make 2.5 kids. Yes, I have had time for that, but that is spreading out. Got in late. Are you moving or something, Paul? Yes, I am, Roy. We're having another kid. And the house we're in is barely big enough for our 2 children. It is on the tight side. So we're looking for a house with slightly larger Skid Factory. Okay, Skid Factory is another one. Skid Factory merch spots are Skid Factory is great. I mean, I can't complain about someone building a crazy powerful tiny van. That is probably the coolest thing I've seen anyone build on the internet ever. And I also like their cameo on Bad Obsession Motorsports when they're talking about the engine, and he said, "We're just not going to fit a turbo," and then like cut to Turbo Yoda with his cup. He just throws the mug down, walks away. Yeah, Thank you, Roy. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I'm trying to negotiate a larger garage out of the deal. My wife doesn't want to move into the middle of nowhere for some reason, and so I probably can't have a big, nice, like detached shop. But we'll see how it goes. Bought a kiln this week, too big to fit in the house. Had to strip it to fit. Lots broke. That's a bummer. Yeah, a lot of things break. This one here tears apart into pieces that are easy for me to move. This one here is built out of the same kinds of pieces, but more of them stacked together. This one back here has one bottom piece that is gigantic and very flimsy, and that was a real pain. I got a whole bunch of cracks in the bottom of it when I was moving it. It's not going to be fun to move again. I think I might just find somebody who wants a giant 50 amp kiln and just give it to them to get it out of here. Because the only thing I can do with it is, unless the new place has 50 amp service in the garage, the only thing I can do with it would be to gut it and convert it to gas like I did to that one over there. And this one here is much larger than that one, like diameter wise. So it might be good to do that. But it's also in like really good shape, and I don't know if I just want to rip the thing apart. Who knows? That's why he moved in the middle of nowhere first. See, that's a great plan. That was 10 out of 10 planning for you. Move to the middle of nowhere, secure the building with the shop, and then worry about other people. There you go. Yeah, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. But the next place we move probably won't be the final place either. It's just gonna be like an interim place. You know, until a few more years, save up more money. You know, right now is not a great time to save money. If you know what I mean? Like, we try, but the economy is what it is. Lots broke. So you know the thing with these things made out of the light fire brick, those fire bricks are really flimsy, and they have grooves cut in them. So if you remove the elements, you can break them if you're not careful. I'll buy a standalone garage somewhere, and then put a house next to it. That's a good plan. There was a place, again, way out of budget, but a place really close to where we live now in the same neighborhood. That was the farmhouse that when this neighborhood was a farm, right? They started building houses on the farmland, but the house still had a huge lot with fences around because they had horses, because it was still like that between farm and town kind of stage. And now that the fences are gone and the barn is still there, but the house was renovated to be like super like ritzy looking farmhouse. It's like, man, that had a big garage and a huge barn, like legit barn, and another like shop thing off of that. That would have been perfect if I had $500,000 in my back pocket, but I don't. Now, who needs a house anyhow? Exactly. If I didn't have a family, I would probably just like get like a huge garage shop with like an office loft and just convert that to my apartment. That's all I need. Took care of the bricks. That's good. Those bricks are not cheap. Shop is 3 times the size of your house. Yeah, but you're like a pro, so you need that. I mean, I would like that, but I really can't justify that, you know? I mean, there was a house my parents almost bought that had a gigantic pole barn garage thing that could fit an 18-wheeler in it. And they're like, that would be pretty awesome. And then the guy who was selling is like, never mind. I got transferred back here in my job, so I'm not going to sell the place. I'm like, bummer. Like you could fit, it was long enough to fit an 18-wheel, the garage I'm talking. The house is big, the house is very nice too, but who cares? The garage was long enough to fit an 18-wheeler in it, like truck and trailer. And then it was probably wide enough for like 3 of them real tight, but there's only one door in the middle. And we don't have an 18-wheeler, but that's a huge pole barn. That would have been great. But I mean, now, judging by the market, now that house would be like double the cost it was then. And it's just way too much. Wait, that guy has horses in the back too. It's just crazy. But at one point, it wasn't too insanely expensive. At one point, 20 years ago. Too hard to get the mortgage on one. Yeah? You can't. We're talking like a mortgage. They probably don't want to sell a homeowner's like mortgage on a garage, only garage. That would probably be like you must pay in cash, and building code says you can't live in the barn. Yeah. Place that had a 1/2 mile long chicken house. That sounds awesome. Now is a great time to sell. That is for sure, especially around here. My neighborhood in particular, it's a nice neighborhood. It's a nice school district, and my house is kind of average size. You don't want a house that's too fancy for your neighborhood or too dumpy for your neighborhood. Mine's like right in the middle. I got one next to me that's a little smaller. They're all nice. The one next to me is a little smaller. One across the street's a little bigger. It's like we're right in the middle. So like right in the middle with the playground and like the number of bedrooms. We got 3 bedrooms and a finished basement, and everything's it's very, very pleasant in this area. So they sell like that and sell for big money compared to when we bought it. But so does everyone else's house. So like if I sold this for big money, I would have to like hope to like sell, close, the following day the economy collapses and all the market drops, and then buy a house. That would be the only way I could take advantage of it. And like who can guess when the market's going to do that? And I certainly can't. You don't want one that complains about glowing fires in your driveway. See, that's why I like this neighborhood, because no one's ever complained. No one has ever complained about me doing anything crazy. Although I haven't done anything crazy since the people there just moved in, like straight out from the garage door. But I think I'll be okay because they're from Florida. So nothing I do is going to be crazier than anything they've already seen. That's what I'm thinking. And I can't block their windows from my garage, but I can block everyone else except the people directly across the street in that direction. And they're nice people. I've known them for like decades, seriously. So I could probably get away with a lot of fires. And I already got away with like, yeah, people from Florida. See, you know what I'm talking about. Cone knows what I'm talking about. He used to live in Florida. He's still not that far away, a lot closer than I am. So yeah, I would like to be in the middle of nowhere. That would be nice. But like really, this is the smallest town my wife has ever lived in. And the second smallest town she's ever lived in was Boston. And that was a small town compared to where she spent a lot of her time growing up. So like moving to a middle of nowhere is uncomfortable for her. As much as I would like to be, not the middle of nowhere, but like, you know what I mean? Not like, I would like to be in middle of nowhere in that I can't stand on my roof and throw a rock to my neighbors' houses. Like a little further than that would be nice. A little more space. Maybe some shrubbery around. Middle of nowhere, North Carolina is not so different from Florida. Yeah, I guess, I mean, you're close enough. There's plenty of overlap, I assume. Same general region. At least you don't have like snowbanks to deal with. That would be nice. The place I used to live, upstate New York, a lot of snow. Not as cold, but more snow. I was in like, it wasn't a cul-de-sac, but it was like a road that made a circle. And there were all these condos, they're like duplexes on the middle and duplex on the outside. So if your duplex is in the middle, your like road facing space, all the lots were like this. Your road facing space was huge. I lived on the outside. So my backyard like widened as it went back. And I was on a corner lot, so it went way back, really big and wide. The front was like really, really narrow. By the time we got to the road, it was 1 car wide and then like just enough curb for the mailboxes and then the next driveway. So like people don't think about this. When you blow your snow, you generally blow the snow towards the road and it's like toward the edges and it puts on the banks. Well, when everyone's driveway comes together and there's only like 10 feet there, the snowbank piles up so much you can't pile it up anymore. So I would have to blow the snow the other way and like move the snow to the side yard just to make room. I don't want to have to deal with that anymore. Here I don't have to deal with that so bad, but my driveway is like heaving. So like heaving driveway, driving the snowblower hits that. It's no fun. Did lay 2-step for ages while testing the driveway. Nobody complained. Yeah, there you go. Make all sorts of noise. Wouldn't want to live any other way. Yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, I've really never lived in the middle of nowhere, like proper middle of nowhere, but if I had just room, I just want more space. More space, more garage space. If this house wasn't if the lot wasn't like pinched, like I have plenty of backyard space, but it's just not laid out to expand the garage. Like my parents' house, their lot isn't as deep as mine, but it's wider than mine. So the garage also went to the back of the house, and they were able to expand the garage out like 24 feet or something. So I was able to build like quite They were able to extend quite a bit on their garage, tons of space. And when they need another bedroom, they just put another bedroom in the basement. But I really can't do that. Come on down, 3 acres for 30 grand. That sounds amazing. It'd be quite a commute to work, though. That would be a lot. Andrew Perry, quite surprised how loud the forge was. They can get real loud. So this burner here that I haven't cleaned up off the ground yet, this one that I built, this janky looking thing, for aluminum, this is dead quiet. You can't even hear it running. But I don't think I'd be able to heat up to get enough heat for copper, for like bronze alloys. Aluminum, I did aluminum with it, dead silent, perfect. That other one that I have with the blower attachment though, that literally sounds like a jet engine. It's so loud. You need at least one person. One person needs appliance fixed. Yes, job security. There you go. Get so many noise complaints living in an apartment. Sucks. Yeah. You probably can't do a lot of grindering in an apartment building. That would not be fun. I would have to switch and like where could I melt anything? The balcony. Like my last apartment that I had, that was an apartment, I had this balcony, I was third floor, very tall ceilings, swanky looking apartment, but I was on the third floor, top floor, no elevator. So it was like 15 feet of stairs up for each floor. And like, I didn't care. And there was a balcony, small balcony, and the ceiling there wasn't very high up, but those like slats over the top were plastic. So if I was to try to melt anything out there, it would melt the side, like everything around me. Pretty sure I wouldn't get my safety deposit back, which is kind of screwy because that apartment was like, and that was in Boston. I wasn't like in Boston, but it was in the area, and it was like $1,800 a month, which was just insane. And it was like a tiny one, and it was in the worst location possible. Like you could not use public transit from this apartment. In a city. That's how inconveniently it was located. Thing is, if I got an apartment closer to the train station or a bus stop or anything, they weren't any cheaper. They were still like $1,800 a month, but they also shared a building with like a crack house. So I'm like, no thanks. I'll just drive to the train station, and I'll pay the extra. Or it wasn't even extra, but like at least it was a very nice apartment. Melted holes in your floor. Yeah. My first apartment, I burned the cheapo countertop once. That wasn't good. Lost my safety deposit on that place. I was like trying to cook. I'm not a cook. I shouldn't bake anything. I was like had like a thing with like the water boiling, the pot, and like it boiled a lot of water and overheat. I'm like, oh no! And I took it off and I set it on the counter, not thinking, in a panic. I didn't put anything under it, and it just scorched a ring on the countertop. Whoops! Make bronze ingots in an electric furnace. Cast bigger projects, use big furnace. I could cast iron almost in that one. It gets hot enough, it just takes forever. And the longer you have a melt sitting there, like exposed, the more oxidation you can get. And I just don't want to deal with that. One burner sent you has finally given up the ghost. No, I still have that burner. I still have that burner. Roy, still have it. It's over there on the shelf. And I still use that blower. I actually have the blower. I think that's over on the shelf too. And I've used that blower on other burners. I have 2 other forced air burners, and I can take that blower and I just stick it in the new one and duct tape it on, And then I have another blower somewhere that I cut out of an air mattress also. So it's redundancy. How would you like to be Glenn at GS Tongs, does blacksmith videos from the balcony of the apartment? That sounds pretty cool. It's because he is epic. Yeah. Balcony. I imagine that would surprise your neighbors. Like, it's like, what is that? Are they doing construction up there? And you see a dude like forging an axe. That would be pretty crazy. You could forge the railing for your apartment on your apartment balcony. Like forge it there and set it right up there. Bingo. Custom railing. With all the twists and stuff. That would be interesting. Poor neighbors. Yeah. I know of the location of one blacksmith in my town, and he's by the river, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And unfortunately, he's in a place that floods a lot. How are the new tongs working out? Still using them? Yes. So the tongs, I built them, if you remember, I built them to handle both of those larger crucibles. I've only tested them on the smaller crucible, and I am not going to try them on the larger one because it was way too sketchy. When the smaller crucible was full to the brim with aluminum, it did it. I mean, it didn't have a problem, but it just didn't feel safe. You know what I mean? So I'm going to make another set. I'm probably just going to do the separate lifting tongs and pouring tongs, and we have the two-piece. The thing I wanted to avoid, I'm going to do it anyway because it just seems like there's a reason people do that, and the reason is safety. And I really don't feel like getting burned with like a half-gallon sized crucible full of molten anything. So I'm just going to make other ones. But it's not just wood that's really expensive. Metal's really expensive, and I don't think I have enough over there that you can't see off frame leaning against the wall to make another set of tongs like that. Cast them from bronze? That would be cool, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll probably weld them together from steel like all the other ones. Did my phone just beep? Hold please. I got to put this on not alerting me with noise. There we go. Whoa, a bunch of people just joined the Discord. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so I got 15 minutes until there's an alarm where I have to start the bath running for my children. Do you still have all those motors? I have a lot of them. I have a lot of them over there in a pile of other junk. I broke down a lot of them too. So I have like a wire basket over here, a wire garbage basket that's just packed with a bunch of aluminum, and I still have more motors over there to break down. I haven't broken them down yet. I don't know if I'm going to break them down and throw the stuff in the basket, or if I'm just going to recycle them, give them to the recycle guy, and deal with it later. Because it's not like I don't have a constant stream of motors coming in. Viscount chest freezers, been running since the 70s. The older ones you get, the older freezers and fridges work longer. So it'll probably keep running forever. Did you get into coppersmithing yet? No, but I did follow a couple of Instagram things that are coppersmiths. One of them is a coppersmithing studio run by a couple of women in South Korea. Those are always fun ones to look at. And Roy, again, bubble wrap expenditures this week, brother. Thank you very much, Roy. Bubble wrap expenditures. That's what that is. I'm running low. That's my last roll of bubble wrap. So thank you very much. I can definitely use more bubble wrap. That is for sure. I bought that. I found if you go to Home Depot, they got bubble wrap, like big rolls of bubble wrap. You can get bubble wrap a lot cheaper at Uline. So I just ordered from Uline, and a bunch of boxes I got from Uline. So that's what I'm gonna do. Adam from Art by Ardoc, cast his tongs from aluminum bronze, seem to work really well. Yeah, he does some cool stuff. This stuff looks pretty nice. I just I don't know. I just don't want to go through the hassle to cast something that maybe works, maybe doesn't. And I would feel much more confident if I welded it together from like really beefy steel that I have over there. I guess you can see it. That's a piece of steel leaning against the wall. But yes, thank you, Roy. I'm definitely buying more bubble wrap. I'm going to order a lot more bubble wrap and a lot more boxes too. Because like I guess Home Depot boxes aren't that expensive. Like these extra small ones with the books in them, those are like 80 cents a piece. That's pretty cheap. I think the heavy duty small ones are like $1.20 or something like that. They're all pretty cheap. But the bubble wrap could wallpaper the whole house with the amount of catalogs Uline sends me from that one time I bought something. Yeah, right. They send them to me all the time, and they send them to my parents all the time. And I had like a stack like this. And I was thinking like, when I was in Boston and I got back into bow making, archery, I took catalogs like that, laid them flat with like, you have the page openings. You lay them flat with the page openings outward in a cardboard box. You can paint a target on that and shoot. And when you shoot, the arrows go in like this between the boxes, between the pages. And you pull the arrow out. And it's like a long-lasting DIY target. I'm like, if I kept all these catalogs, I could build a target like every 2 years, a big one. And then I thought, wait, I already have those like self-healing foam targets in the basement. I don't use those either. Uline catalogs in the recycle bin. I don't need this garbage. But they're like, you gotta think, how much money are they spending on those catalogs, right? Because like they're nice, they're like super thick, and their color, like they gotta be spending a fortune on that just because I bought a bunch of bubble wrap and boxes from them one time. But I'm definitely gonna buy more boxes and bubble wrap from them very soon. Between that and LMC catalogs, yes, those two. I get a few of those catalogs. One of the companies, I forget what was it? Was it Northern Tool and Equipment or something? They sent me a hardcover catalog. It's like a hardcover? Really? Trying to one up everyone else? Recently bought a new sledgehammer to smash up washing machine motors. I use grinders. I cut them and then smash them apart. That's how I usually do it. Steel is good. Forget it's an option. Welding indoors here. Not so smart. Yeah, fortunately I don't have to do that. I can like just open the garage door. So any fumes, except the time we did stick welding, the fumes just like hung in the air. So many fumes. Now I get them in like 3 different generations. Yeah, there's just tons of catalogs, and they're so thick. And you know, if you want a catalog from Aircraft Spruce, I wish they sent me a free catalog all the time. You can't. They don't just show up. You got to like actually request one. Bane of your existence. Every month you get a new catalog. Yeah, it's crazy. That must be like 10% of their budget. It's just making more catalogs to send to people. But maybe there's something to it. I don't know. There's a company, a bulk like random other stuff company called ABC Supply based in Beloit, Wisconsin. It's pretty close, just south of here. They make like safety equipment and all that. And it's run by, what's her name? Diane Hendricks. She's like one of the very few like billionaire women with like more money than Oprah, right? Well, it was run by her husband. Her husband unfortunately died. There was an accident, a construction accident. He fell through a floor. I guess he was a super nice guy, but he just had an accident, died. She took over. First thing she did, so I hear, first thing she did was send a thick, full color catalog of all their products to everyone. Like just sent out tons of these full color catalogs like Uline sells. And instantly the business just exploded from like really successful to like ultra huge. And now she's like super rich because of that really smart marketing decision. I mean, and also running the business well as on top of that. Like you can't just have one good idea and suddenly your business works. Like everything is good, but I heard that was like the big spark that really blew it up. So maybe Uline is just doing that because that's happening. I don't know. I mean, if you get a new catalog every month, maybe you could like run your forge off of that thing. You know, just extra fuel, throw it in there. It's kindling. I don't know if you'd want to cook off that though, like wax paper. It might be something toxic in there. 336. This is at 336. I'm gonna open the lid even more. Whoops. Oh no. Casualties. Kick the tripod. Well, no, screw it. Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come with me? See, I still need a welding glove. This is what we're opening. Got the wrong hand here. You got a very close up of my underside of my nose. Sorry about that. There we go. I got my welding glove. I actually need a third hand here. I don't have a third hand. So I'm going to pull this up and stick another thing in there to prop it up even more. Got my nice organized shelves. Let's see. That. Is that going to fall if I open it? No, it's not. Okay. So how am I going to open this? How am I going to open this, people? I know how I'm going to open it. I'm going to set this down so you can look at my floor, and then I'm going to open it. There we go. Now it's open. See, I propped it up even higher. There was a bunch of junk. See, the new place is going to have all this junk better organized, too. I've just been stacking things. Like back there is a bunch of scrap. Very close to the kiln, but it is copper. And over there, I got the rest of the metal. There's a bunch of... Behind the motor oil, there's a whole bunch of aluminum piles. And there's cast aluminum down there in piles. There's brass in piles. Roy, there's the burner you made. There's the blower you made, duct taped to the burner that I made. That's going to be an interesting thing to pack up for the move. And over here, there's like more random odds and ends, woodworking tools, metal beating stump. This is my random things pile, my random things shelf, abrasives shelf, more tools and stuff, more tools and stuff. That box up there is full of cast iron that I've saved. You know, it's a nightmare in here. Piece of ceramic wool on the floor. Run for some reason, you know, whole bunch of junk. Bikes that are going to get thrown. Well, that one's going to get thrown out. Pink one's going to get thrown out. These other two are the kids. So we ain't throwing those out. There, you can kind of see what's in there, right? Just cups and bowls. Kind of hoping some of these worked. I'm going to sneak my phone into this 300-degree oven. I'm trying different colors. There's a blue color in there that I made using cobalt carbonate. Maybe you should make a catalog. Yeah, there you go. You make a catalog. Well, they're like artists will do catalogs when they have like a gallery showing. You know, that'll go along with the showing. It'll be like high-res images of all their gallery stuff. I mean, there's always something like that. Reconnecting. Have I reconnected? See pottery dust. Yes, need a nose trim. I need an everything trim. And like this is getting a bit long too. It's not quite to the point where I like elbow on it when I'm trying to roll over in bed, but close. And I did trim this. This was like 3 times longer, like a week or two ago. But it got to the point where I went to eat something. I ended up like eating mustache at the same time, and that's just too much. Too much. Only 2 pages and in black and white. Well, you know, that's something. Black and white makes it fancier. And now the phone wants to focus on something else. That's right. Don't drop you again. I won't. Didn't look that big in the background. It looks huge. What didn't look that big? This thing? Yeah, that thing's like this big around. It's pretty big. Look good, need more tools. I do need more tools. Making some Paul's Garage mugs. I haven't. I suppose I could. There's like there's a guy I know who makes stamps and like laser cut stamp, like rubber stamps. And you can get like a logo on a circle stamp, stamp it on a sheet, and then stick that on top of mugs, and it'll have like a little emblem on it. I know a lot of people do that, but I don't know why I haven't just done that. There are some mugs in there. There are no mugs that you can see when I looked in, but like 3 layers down is a whole shelf of mugs. The COVID quarantine look, yeah. You know, I feel like I missed out of my quarantine the last couple of years because I didn't stop working. I kept working until I got COVID. Then I stopped working for 2 weeks. But that was my only time off from the pandemic, was when I got the virus. And it wasn't exactly productive when I was off either. I couldn't like do fun stuff because I was just really tired. I fortunately did not get any bad symptoms. I didn't get any like those residual extra symptoms that people get where they're like losing their breath for like months and months afterwards. The other 2 days ago, I went on the treadmill for the first time in a while. I don't usually go on the treadmill. And I think I can still run at the same rate I could like when I was a teenager and I was running. Like I tried just to see if I would run out of breath or something. I never ran out of breath. So I think I dodged that bullet. I'm not going to run out. And I don't have the heart issues that some people get, which is good. Because when I got the virus, that was like before they had any vaccines and they didn't know how to treat it or any of that. So I feel like, you know, it was okay for me. Not for anyone. I don't know if I told people, but I have an uncle who died from it. And a cousin, I don't think he died from it, but you know, like the virus can cause blood clots, and he like randomly died of a blood clot at like 39 years old. So like, and that was maybe a month after he had the virus. So maybe there's a link there, or maybe there was just something else going on that caused the blood clot, because it happens. No, heart issues can, the thing with heart issues, they'll just like sneak up on you out of nowhere and it's like boom, heart attack, and you thought you were fine. But no, I don't think I don't suspect I'll make any mugs unless like maybe that would be better merch. You know, not like t-shirts. Maybe like a t-shirt, but like a dark one. Because I have some of these magazines, motorsport t-shirts that were white. They used to do them in white, and they just look terrible. Like after a while, they just look horrible. But then you get the black ones, and this could be covered in oil. You don't know. So maybe I'll have to do them in like dark blue and black shirts with the logo on it. Did you get the vaccine after? Yes, I did after. Well, after. I mean, it took a while. It was probably 4 or 5 months after I had the virus before they even had a vaccine. Oh, there's the alarm. Kid bath time. But yeah, I got it eventually. It didn't have any side effects from that either. And I don't know all the people saying like it makes you sterile. It's like, well, we got a baby on the way that says it doesn't. Giving anyone interested in cars white shirts to crime. Yes. Thank you yeah, and that was the only color you could get were like white ones with like this logo on it. And then I went to the black ones and it's like, well, now all my white ones I'm just gonna throw away. Like they were like larger ones because I was fatter then, so I got the bigger ones, so they don't fit anymore. And they're all like yellow stained around the neck with all the sweat. And then like one of them's got like this like big red smear right here of like not like a liquid smear, but like kind of that faded powdery smear. Because what I did, don't do this. What I did, my 323 is red and it's single stage paint, and the paint was kind of oxidized. So I was like buffing it, and I didn't have a rag at the time, so I grabbed one of these t-shirts and I was like wiping it. I'm like, oh, it's all red. The oxidation came off on the shirt. I'll wash it. It'll come off. Did not come off. So there is a Grassroots Motorsports t-shirt in my house that I was using as a polishing rag, and you can tell which one it is. Like white t-shirts. Well, see, with the white t-shirt, it's easy to tell if it's clean, and if it's pure white, you just look clean. You know, but if you have a dark one, it doesn't matter. Which is very important for me because I'm never clean. Merch you've made yourself is infinitely more awesome than any other kind. That's true, but merch I make myself is crazy time consuming, and I really don't have a lot of time. So like ideally, I would want to make a bunch of it myself and sell that, because then it's like, that's a personal thing, you know? Then like, you don't just have like, hey, it's got my logo that I paid someone else to design and made in someone else's factory in China and drop shipped to you, and then I get $2 or whatever. No, it would be like, I actually made this thing. Here you go. Like, that's much more personal. I just don't have time for that. Like, if I could, I would totally do that. I would just make a whole bunch of mugs. You've got 31,000 subscribers. Some of us are going to buy mugs. You're right, you can never have enough mugs. Although since I started making mugs, I think I have too many mugs. I've started giving away a bunch of, like I had a relative who moved here. Said, I really don't have any stuff. Do you have any mugs? I'm like, yes, I do. Here's a bunch of mugs. Please take them out of my house. You can have them. So maybe that'll be an issue. Mugs, though, mugs are really time consuming. Cups are a piece of cake. Mugs, very time consuming because of the handles. Pulling handles, and then when you put a handle on, if I make a cup, trim the cup, set it on the shelf. It dries, you're done. Put the mug together, mug, put the handle on, attach the handle, and now you have to slow dry it, because if you don't slow dry it, the handle cracks and falls off, and now the cup's ruined. So like you have to slow dry it, so it takes forever. Like making the handle takes longer than the mug. And then slow drying takes forever. And I'm always like, don't break, because a lot of them crack. I say a lot, like 10-20% of them crack, but that's a lot more than 0%. And if you put that much time into it, and then it's like, can you really charge enough to like make it worth your while to like actually do all this work and not just be way behind? Probably not. I mean, there are people who do it, but I also like don't want to charge $50 for one mug. Like some people charge like $50-$60 for one mug. Really? Did it take you that long to make it? So I know the materials that went into it were like 50 cents. So like it's all time. You know, it's I don't know. Can you have a mug? I don't have any for sale at the moment, but eventually I will. Some of them that are in there are going to go on the Etsy store eventually. Here's a question. Would you ever go full-time on YouTube? Probably not. People have asked this before. It seems like giveaways, prizes, there you go. I might do that. That's a good idea. That is a very good idea. I could give one away at some point. I'll just do like a giveaway at some point. You should totally charge $50. I know, like a lot of people do, right? Because they're homemade, they're like handmade things. And a lot of the stuff I make, like I don't just buy a box of clay and make a thing and buy a glaze and stick it on and be done, right? But I make the clay. Like I dug the clay out of my backyard, processed it myself, did the testing to figure out which additives I need to make it work, right? So also a reminder about bath. Thank you very much. But like did all that, and then the glaze on there, I didn't buy that either. I got clay from another town, a nearby town called Edgerton. They used to have historical pottery manufacturing there. Got that clay, developed that into a glaze, and put that on. So there's a lot of work before I even had the materials in my hands. And then I make the thing, and then it's like it would just make sense to like, okay, well there's so much work went into this, and it's handmade, and it's rooted in this area, that like $50 is not above the market, right? But at the same time, $50 is a lot of money for a mug. Coffee mug, $50, really? You know, it's, I don't know. I'm not really, again, I'm not doing it to like extract money from people. I'm just doing it because it's really interesting and I like doing it. But signed, dated, serialized for $50. Like I know, and I could probably sell it for that too, and people might buy it, but I don't know. There's a philosophy, maybe it was created by a philosopher called Mingei. It's a Japanese thing, where it's like it's a shortened term comprising the words of people's craft in Japanese, and their idea was throw a bunch of stuff together, like get a bunch of craftsmen making things by hand, make as many as you can, and sell them cheaply so that people can afford them. So you have people using handmade things in their homes every day who aren't rich. And I like that theory because I want everyone to be able to enjoy it, right? But then it's like $50 for a mug. It's a lot of money for a mug. Even if like the amount of work that goes into it totally seems worth it. I wonder if the new house will have good clay. It might. It probably can't be any worse than the clay that's back here. Because the clay I have here, it's all clay, but it's kind of crap clay. That's why I had to develop the additives. And it's basically just like how much bentonite you want to add to it. It's only a few percent, but it's like totally. They were called Mingei, Mingei. Mingei was developed by a Japanese philosopher called Soetsu Yanagi, and he was friends with a Japanese potter named Shoji Hamada, a British potter named Bernard Leach. If you know Simon Leach has a YouTube channel, it's Bernard Leach's grandfather. And then there was other people in this movement too, based in Mexico in Japan, outskirts of Tokyo. I really like that theory because, like, why would I want to make stuff if people aren't going to use it? You know, that's where the richness comes from in my mind. I want people to be able to use it. People buy them. I know people buy them. I'm still not beyond that stage where like I feel bad asking money for things, you know? And that's probably another extension to like why would I not do full time here? Because I think YouTube seems very like tenuous, like it's never like a solid you're definitely going to make money, you're going to be supported. But like my day job, I'm definitely going to make money and it's going to keep making money because it's like there's a need and the business is already built and it's going along just fine. If anything, we're too busy all the time, especially lately. I don't know why. But that seems a lot more secure. And then like if I made this full time, it would be like, man, I have to do something to extract money from Google so I can live. And I just wouldn't, I don't know. I can't force myself to do something I'm not interested in. Even though I could very easily make tons more money and get a lot more subscribers if I just do more metal casting videos. It's like every time I do a metal casting video, it gets triple the traction of all the other videos, tons of subscribers, and it works very well, and it's fun. But if I don't have like a reason to cast something, I just can't bring myself to do it. For what it's worth, think your job is cool, fixing stuff instead of people throwing stuff out. Yeah, exactly. It's nice, and people. That's the other thing. Like, I show up and the people are saying like, "Thank you very much. It's great to see you. We can finally do laundry again," and they're like really appreciative, and like that's really nice, and I can like do that one-on-one with people. So much as I don't really like social interaction, that's very nice. You're here for the metal casting. A lot of people are, and the metal casting is really fun. It's really interesting, especially when you get into alloys, and I still have all the alloys up there I need for a silicon bronze alloy that's really cool. But I want to mess with that silicon, the piece of silicon first. I want to see if I can flint knap the silicon into an arrowhead that looks like chrome, because it looks like the way it breaks, it has like conchoidal fracture, like glass or like flint does. I wonder if I could do that. That would be really cool. Burning your face off with iron temperatures. Yeah, probably not going to cast a lot of iron in the future, just because the heat is so insane. Like I cannot describe the heat off of molten iron. It is unbelievable. It's like even like through all the guards and stuff, you just feel like it's the sun is right there. It's crazy. Metal casting wise sub. That's why a lot of people sub, and those videos continue to do well. Like I haven't checked the analytics lately, but it's like it's over 1,000 hits a day, and it's like 2,000 an average day, I think. And probably half of the hits are on metal casting videos, and most of the comments I get are on metal casting videos. Silicon flint knapping would be interesting. Yeah, right? Because like it's a specific way that something has to break to be able to flint knap it. And you can flint knap glass. You can flint knap, like obsidian is just natural glass. Flint breaks very similarly. You can flint knap porcelain, which I also want to try because I got a bunch of porcelain now. Might even have some within reach. There, that's porcelain. This is part of the glaze testing. I put codes on the bottom with different additives and what it is. Anyway, this porcelain, high fired, will break like glass, conchoidal fracture, and that piece of silicone looks like it breaks the same, or silicon looks the same way. So I'm going to try that. Think you might have, oh, right, bath. I might have to go do that. Thank you, Marty. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. YouTube is not recommended. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. I know it does. It's John Stone, the toilet bowl porcelain. Well, thank you for subscribing and watching for years, and thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Casting is what got me hooked. Show what's possible for projects. Every hobbyist with all your project. That's mostly what I want to do. Kids bath now. I'll go in like 2 minutes. That's mostly what I want to do. So the main thing that I want to do is not metal casting, although metal casting is part of it. The thing that I want to do is everything. So I think there's unfortunately a feeling that people have that you see people doing this stuff and that it's too intimidating. They can't do it. Or they think I need certain equipment. I need the right X something. I need the right forge equipment, or I need the right casting furnace. I need to buy a devil forge. I need to buy this burner. No, you don't. You can throw the crap together out of just random junk from the hardware store, drill a hole in that, ratchet strap it to a piece of steel, and this will melt aluminum real easy. Like when I put this in the other furnaces, that big one over there, I got up to 2,300 degrees and climbing. Like this is plenty, and this is just crap I literally strapped together with clamps. Like you can do that, and it's not just melting stuff. You can learn to weld. I taught myself how to use those welders. I don't know what I'm doing. I learned how to do it. That's the main thing. I want to like figure it out, screw up along the way. Who cares? That makes it more interesting. Do it. People can watch. They realize, oh, I can do this too. I'm just a dude in a garage. I bought a Chinese welder and I can build stuff. No, I want people to understand you can do more than what you think. If you do some research, some books, particularly videos, and then just try it. That's what I want to do. That's what I want other people to do. The kiln you killed, I'm converting it to a melting furnace. Perfect. See, you don't need a specific furnace. You can just make it work. Like I've had some people ask like, how is it you figure out the right parts to use for all these projects? And I said, and I'll just say like, I choose what to use for the projects based on whatever crap I have lying around that's most convenient to reach. And it always works eventually. So just give it a try. Give it a try. If you want to learn to do something, just do it. Give it a shot. You're afraid of failure. Don't worry about failure. Let me tell you something. You're definitely going to fail a lot of the time. Revise, try again. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. If you have a successful pour of silicon bronze, you can forge something from it. Might make a cool collab. That might be cool. Silicon bronze. I have enough silicon and manganese to make 25 pounds of silicon bronze. I do not have the 20, I think it's 20 pounds. I need 20 pounds of copper to do it. I have about 10 pounds of copper. I could just buy copper, like that's not a problem. But I don't have a crucible that would hold 25 pounds of copper either. So maybe I don't need to, but you know, those are together. A lot of people need plans, need inspiration. Yes, you need plans. Plans are good. Plans are helpful. Never stick to the plans, though. I never stick to the plans. I always take so instead of working plans, buy materials, build the thing from the plans, work the other way. What are the basic principles I need? How can I achieve those principles? Try it, then build the thing. A lot of times I don't even plan. It's like the basic principle of this thing. I need heat. How do you get heat? Propane, air, fire. Okay, I can mix propane from here with the air in the venturi and get fire. Maybe I need to move this up and down. Maybe I need to adjust how big these are. Maybe I need to crank the pressure up or down. But you can make it work. And then the furnace, it has to insulate. It has to not melt too much. So make it work. If it doesn't work, screw it. Throw it out. Start again. Try something else. But if you stop trying, you'll never figure it out. Salvage copper from old appliance motors. I could, but the motors, the copper in the motors is covered in shellac insulation. I'd have to burn that off, and I just don't want to deal with that. I think burning wiring is illegal anyway, especially when I have like a big, thick bus bar of copper over there that I'm not using, and I have lots of pipes. I have lots of like plumbing, copper plumbing, or I can just buy ingots. I'm well over. Too many idiots out there have no idea what they're doing. Just do videos where you're just waiting for them to blow up. That's true. That does happen a lot. So that's why I said research first. First step in that is research. And there is risk in what I do too. I've never blown anything up. I've blown up pottery in the kiln all the time, but I never had a big explosion fire. But the first step is research. I have a bunch of silicon bronze, but Everdoer, that's the alloy. That's the alloy that I need, Everdoer, or that I have I have manganese chips and some other stuff up there to make that alloy. The recipe's sent to me by someone from Alloy Avenue. Hello from England. Hello in England. Gav's Garage. I'm signing off at the moment because I am overdue for running the bath for my kids. But thank you all for stopping by. If you want to keep the conversation going, go to the Discord, which Chirpy has linked a couple times. There's also a link to the Discord in the description of pretty much every video. I don't think they're in the description of the streams. I don't think there's any description of streams, but you can check on the videos. And there's a link. Boom, right there. Chirpy with the link. That is the link for the Discord. Oh no, that is not the link for the Discord. That is the link for something else. But Chirpy has posted the link for the Discord in the chat if you scroll around. Thirsty Camel, hello. Good to see you. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Andy. Take care. Yes. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thank you, Christ-Centered Ironworks. Roy, thank you, Chirpy. Thank you, all the other mods. ZK and Pinecone were around a while. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Research needed, yes. People need to stop copying foundry design with the uncoated ceramic fiber. That's right. That crap is bad to breathe in. I say, not admitting that there's uncoated ceramic fiber sitting on my floor back there. But I don't blast heat through it. There's the link, yes. Thank you, everybody. If you want to keep... There's Pinecone, Josh Graham. If you want to keep the conversation going, go to the Discord. It is free. You do not have to be a patron or any of that. It is open for everybody, but if you are a troll, we will have fun banning you. And so on. I'll send the angry Scotsman after you. Thanks, everybody. I have disassembled my falling apart stand, and I'm going to hit the button. I don't want to leave when there's so many people watching, but I have to go. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week for another stream.